Don't fade me, bro. This is the WeWin Sports Podcast.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the WeWin Sports Podcast. Today, or tonight, we'll give you our 30-second rants. In Mikey's case, more like a 2-minute rant. And we'll give you our 2 best bets of the week. David Woodley is not here because we're recording at like 1:30 a.m. Eastern. Brandon Cantu is a 2-time World Series of Poker winner and has a World Poker Tour title as well. Cantu, you'll be happy to know that the World Poker Tour just announced that they're coming back to the Bay 101, where I believe you won your World Poker Tour title.
Yes,
Cantu always has some well-thought-out takes. You like that, Cantu?
I do like that.
You'll be begging to stay at my house.
Yes, I will.
Mike the Mouth Matt. And by the way, people at my house have done well in that tournament. John Benetti won it when he stayed at my house. Huck Seed won it when he stayed at my house. Mike the Mouth Matusow is a 4-time World Series of Poker winner. Mikey knows sports, studies sports, and watches more games than all of us combined. Cantu, let's pay the bills. What do you got?
Smart bettors earn up to 0.5% cash back on all of your deposits and withdrawals with the Edge Boost Visa debit card. You can now move $250,000 a day on your Edge Boost Visa debit card and earn cash back on every transaction. Edge Boost is the first dedicated bank account for gamblers. 100% approval for all sports betting, casino, and sweeps, both online and brick and mortar. Edge Boost is the first financial platform for smart bettors and includes a suite of budgeting and responsible gaming tools to play smart. It's a no-brainer. Start earning today at www.edgeboost.bet. That's edgeboost.bet.
All right, let's go to your rant.
Well, my rant of the day is we were supposed to start this podcast at noon. I was going to have all those winners to you guys coming in hot. It is now 10 at night, so we missed, and that's Pacific. We've missed everything, all the games. I was going to give you 2 winners, but Mike was sleeping in. The 2 winners were going to be Blazers plus 10.5. That landed 10. Also, I was going to give you, my rant of the day was going to be how the Mavs are just toast. They got no chance of winning. Bucks minus 11. They weren't even have to play that good. I put them into our group chat. Everybody here knows that's true. What happens? Mike stalls us till 1. I can still get us until 2. It eventually gets too late. I was going to be 2-0 with you guys. Bucks win by 30 over the Mavs. But what can you do?
Okay, here's my rant. First of all, I'm glad you didn't make that pick because I would have said what Woodley likes to say, and we're missing Woodley today. I would have said Woodley likes to say they're still professional basketball players on the other team, Cantu, and I would have been wrong. All right, listen, my rant, I got up a little bit early today, and that's okay. And then Mikey basically was scheduled to go with us at 12:30. Okay, now, so I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. It's 2 o'clock. Luckily for me, I have 8 million business things, so it didn't bother me too much. But poor Cantu doesn't have anything else going in his life at all and sat there just waiting for hours, playing tiddlywinks, waiting. It's 2:30. And finally, Mike says, I can't make it. Let's do it at 10 p.m. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then Cantu's like, what the fuck? And then Woodley's like, what the fuck? And, and we're going on and on and on. And I said, Mike probably does not have the presence of mind to apologize. I was wrong. Mike said, Phil, it's been a really rough day. I've been in a lot of pain. I said, Mike, I accept your apology. Yeah. And I do, Mike. Go ahead.
I wish I would have followed my gut. So I'm here in LA playing the stream all week. Did the meetup game on
Hustler
Sunday.
live stream.
Yeah, Hustler live stream. Did the meetup game on Sunday. Won like 2,800 in a $1-3 game. Then Monday, I just sun runned in a really, really soft game. And I win like 37-5. Then I had yesterday off. And a big storm moved into L.A. and it's still raining. And when it rains, I'm in a lot of pain because of my injury. The barometric pressure drops way down. Whenever the pressure goes up or down, I'm just in a lot of pain. And I woke up, I was in terrible pain. And I was gonna, honestly, I almost called Ryan to cancel. And but I didn't want, he sets it up for me. I don't want to let him down. When you make a agreement to be somewhere, you make sure you show up. And, he said it was going to be a quarter 50 game.
Really, Mike? You just said that after telling us you'd be here at 12:30 and then at 2:30 canceling?
Well, no.
Can you believe what you're hearing?
All I said, I woke up, I was in horrible pain. And
Mike,
then I was going
to roll out of your bed to your computer
I couldn't
desk.
fucking move at all. And
he makes it to the casino for Ryan. What are we, chopped liver over here?
No,
Phil? Come on.
The thing is, it's like I was going to cancel, and I wish I did. I mean, I thought I played unbelievably great today, but I lost 14-8. But the game, Brian's like, oh, it's a quarter 50 Wednesday game with a lot of pros. I'm like, okay. Like quarter 50, it was quarter 50, 100, 200, 400 every hand, right? And I'm like playing with 10,000 deep, which, it's fine if you make a hand. And, like my friend Marcus, when I got done, I see he shows me a video of like V-pips, and it says 64, 63, 62, 28, 29, Mike Matusow, 4%. And I started laughing because I literally didn't enter one hand for like the first 2 hours. Like I never even had a suited connector.
4%.
And of course now, but the sick part is now I get stacked with ace, queen, the kings, right? Against Mariano, who's like opening like fucking 9x every hand. And there was like 3
Okay, Mike, I think I have to cut you off.
Yeah,
the
that's
only
fine.
reason
Yeah, you
why...
cut me off. No, you're right. But to make a long story short, like for as big as the game was playing, like losing 14,000 is like losing like 1,000. Like the game was there was like 3 people.
I'll give you that. I'll give you
100.
that, Mike.
Yeah.
My picks, and I'll go on record, and this is bad because if they win, nobody gives me credit. If they lose, they say I was going to tell you guys to bet Lundberg, to bet Aberg. All right, Aberg was 16-1, 15-1. Right in that range. I looked it up today to win the golf tournament. So you had McIlroy. Actually, at 3.5-1 was Scheffler. At 7-1 is McIlroy. And I was just watching Aberg just hit the ball on a dime 17 days ago when he won down at San Diego. He was hitting 250-yard shots to 4 feet, 3 feet. It was like incredible watching. He's 25 years old. So that was my pick. I also picked him against Morikawa. You had to lay $1.25 to finish better in the tournament. Those were my 2 picks. I was all over Aberg. Now, instead, because this podcast is going to come out on Thursday, I'll take the hit. I'll tell you what I'd picked. But my new pick is the Lakers -4.
It's 4.5.
They're hosting the Knicks. I love this because to me, the Knicks just lost. I watched that game last night, Mike, where the Warriors beat the Knicks, and they looked really good doing it. Now the Knicks have to fly all the way. Just lost to the Warriors, which I'm sure they were up for. Now they have to fly all the way to L.A., where I feel like the Lakers are just running right now. Yeah. LeBron is on fire, and Luka has been crushing it. And so I can't believe the line's that low, but that's my pick.
I'm going to tell you.
Go ahead, Mike.
And my pick for tomorrow is opposite. It's the line's 4.5. The Knicks are coming off a big loss to the Warriors, which, as we both know, okay. And the Lakers have been are without Rui Hachimura and without Austin Reeves. I just checked; both will be out tomorrow. Okay, and yes, they have been winning, and they beat the Clippers in back-to-back games, which are unbelievable. They won yesterday against a really bad Pelican team where Zion had 37. And they're making, they're playing like LeBron's playing like he's 25. Honestly, they're going to say Shea is the MVP and Joker's second. But why isn't LeBron the MVP? This guy's 40 years old, putting up 28, fucking 15 and 6 every game. But because of the fact that the Knicks have a little bit more size, Robinson is back for them. I'm not sure if Towns is back or not. I think he is. They have that sting of that Warrior game in their mind, and I just think the Lakers missing 2 starters is going to catch up with them against a very good team, and the Knicks are a very good team. I like the 4.5 in this game. That was going to be my number 1 pick, so we're opposite on that game.
What I got to say about this is I agree with all your points, Mike. LeBron does look really good. He is He is 40. I've never seen anybody look that in shape at 40. That's like
if this guy ain't on designer
not your local
steroids,
gym rat.
I won't
mean,
believe it.
Yeah, but LeBron's not playing tomorrow. Even with that said, Luka,
Oh,
I
he's
think
out.
it's going to
LeBron is out
he's
tomorrow?
out. He's out tomorrow. He's sitting.
Oh, my
and
God.
Oh, wow.
with that
That's why,
said,
now
I
you know why the
still like
line's
this.
so
I
small.
think Luka, it's going to be his time to shine.
Are
I'm
you
pretty
sure
sure
about
he's out.
this? I did not see that anywhere.
I guess it's saying game time decision foot. I heard he's out. So this is the problem with going a day before. So he's going to be a game time decision. It's saying on the app, I heard he was out. I'm not positive on that. Either way, I like the Lakers. And the reason I say that is because I think it's going to be Luka's time to shine. I think this is his first time. He's going to get to show off a bit. I think you can expect a big game. I like a lot of his player props over. I kind of like it. The triple double bet that I made that our friend Ben came on and gave us one pick, the triple double bet. I hit that at plus 450. So I was very happy about that. So
I was
like
so
the
mad
Lakers.
because I was traveling so much I didn't have a chance to bet that. But yeah, so we're talking about when the Dallas Mavericks came in to play the Lakers, and I gave a bad pick. I liked Luka over, but I mean, to be fair, I watched that entire game. They double teamed him. They were going to make sure he didn't score all the points, but he did have a triple double, and that was
I
a
won
great
like
bet, and that was
3,000 on
kinda
that
bad.
game. I won 3,000 on that game, if I'm not mistaken. I had
Yeah, you crushed and Cantu crushed, and I guess I
yeah.
was off on that one.
and you know,
Okay.
the thing I want to say, you know, is like you I know that you believe in karma, Phil, because you believe good things happen to good people, and it's almost like the fans went so crazy about Luka being traded to the Lakers, and like, look, how is it even? Look what has happened to them in 3 weeks. They now Kyrie Irving torn ACL. Okay,
It's
and Kyrie
crazy.
Irving, we talk about, like, I was talking to somebody today when we were playing
They
poker.
are
Like
toast.
if
Morale
you
in
remember
toilet.
Derrick Rose, when Derrick Rose tore his ACL, he was never the same. Like, Kyrie gets to the rim. Like you're talking about now, the only guy that was able to create his own shot might never do the same again, right? And so, like, they're going to shut down. I heard Davis for the rest of the year, which I don't blame them. But like, if Kyrie isn't able to be 85, 90% of himself, like, now the Luka trade is a disaster, because now nobody will be able to create their own shot. And then, I mean, all these injuries, and it's almost like, I don't think that, listen, as a diehard Laker fan, I'm so ecstatic we got Luka, but I don't think they took the ramifications of how loved he was in Dallas. And
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed that since Luka's been in the Lakers, he has lost 25, 30, 35 pounds? It's something crazy. I don't know. Does he not? I wanted to. Nobody
he
said
looks like he's
publicly
getting into
lost weight.
shape.
Dude, he
but
is
like,
lost. He looks like compared to where I don't know if it's
I
the
wanted to
green
say
in his
this.
uniform. Like,
Cantu, I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to take your point a little bit further. Listen, here's a guy that got traded because they said he's lazy. They said he doesn't work out. He doesn't keep himself in
They
shape.
said all he
and
does
he's
is
not gonna
smoke hookah and drink.
well,
right.
and I
Drink
also
beer,
bet
drink
there's-
beer.
There's a lot of stress too from like the pressure of being traded the world. I mean, that's all anybody talked about for 2 weeks. It kind of overshadowed the pregame to the Super Bowl. I mean,
It
that
did.
is a lot of stress. And I mean, he looks a lot thinner.
But
than
what
he
I'm
did.
saying is this, Cantu. If someone trades you, you are a superstar. You bring a team to the finals, and they trade you, and they say the reason is you're lazy. There's no bigger motivator than that. I'm sure he's
Man.
working out more than he's ever
I
worked out.
guarantee you, with LeBron, like when he watches LeBron at 40 doing what he's doing, right? Like,
Yep.
LeBron is probably taking him into his wing right now and saying,
Yep.
you want to be one of the best of all time, you got to work on your body, you got to take, and I bet you, like, he's like probably already hooked up with LeBron's like body guy that he spends $1.5 million a year
course.
on, and he's on a
His
mission.
trainer,
Yeah.
his conditioning guy,
Yeah.
his guy that helps LeBron de-stress his body.
Just remember, his
diet.
idol as a kid growing up has been LeBron James, and he gets to play with his idol.
Let me say this, Mike. You look at the Warriors, right? And you look at the people that come to the Warriors, and they usually do really well when they go to the next team. There's a whole list of them that have done that. DiVincenzo, but there's a bunch before that. They come in and they see how hard Steph works. They say Steph is the hardest worker in the league, working out hours every single day. I've been with Draymond and Cabo,
speaking
and
speaking about the
2020, Mike,
Warriors,
when they weren't even going to play. He wasn't even going to play again for like 8 months or whatever, 6 months, and he was working so hard. And so you see these guys say come in and they see how hard Steph works, then they work hard, and we all know that part of being a professional basketball players have good conditioning. It keeps less injuries when you're conditioned. You're sharper. You have more stamina down the stretch. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Mike?
Well, it's just amazing. I wish I had your 65-1 on the Warriors to win the title. Do I think they're going to win? No. But the odds you have is really good because I am shocked. Now they knew that Butler was going to get to the free throw line a lot, right? And it's incredible. They were 30th in the league shooting free throws. And since Butler has come, they are number one. And number one or number two in free throws and rebounds. Okay. Now, he's a great defensive player. We knew he was going to get rebounds. We knew he was going to get to the line. Am I shocked that they are 8-2 and the only take away the game that Butler didn't play, that they lost to Charlotte or some shitty team, whatever it was, like they would be like 8-1.
Philly. I was sitting on the floor for
Philly,
that game.
yeah, it was a really bad loss.
I was in Philadelphia on Sunday night sitting on the floor. It's nice for me, Mike, because, here's my ego talking, but it's nice. The players all come up and give me a hug. It's kind of fun, I think I'm a badass. I'm on the floor. I'm feeling so good about myself.
With that said, my number 2 pick is the Brooklyn Nets getting 9.5 against the Warriors tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you why. This is their 5th game in 7 nights. Okay. They've been in New York for 2 days. You know what you get to do in New York after you win a game? You party. And then you're off the next day, you party. And if you don't think, even the ones that have family, whatever, they're still New York City, okay? And it's their 5th game of the last game of the road trip. Brooklyn has lost 5 in a row, and I think they've only covered like 1 or 2. But like this 9.5, just smells like a really bad spot for them. 5th game in 7 nights. Been in New York for 2 days. I really like Brooklyn plus a 9.5. I think they should win. If they lost, it would be a horrible loss.
Mike, very quickly, tell me who plays for Brooklyn.
Well, they're missing half their fucking team. That's why they've been losing all the time. And that's why the line is so high. But I don't really know. But I go about, it's like NBA is scheduling, right? You know,
don't know.
Don't care. But I know it's about scheduling, right? I know when this is you have a 5-game road trip, right? And you're 4-1 on the road trip, right? Or 3-1 on the road trip. And you've been in New York for 2 days. This is a game where they're going to be sluggish. Let
me tell you something, Mike.
That's all.
I was thinking a little bit the opposite of this, and I'm going to tell you why. And it's so funny. You and I are always on the opposite of everything. Mm-hmm. You've kind of convinced me a little bit, but I was thinking the fact that they're in New York for like 3 or 4 days now. They've been in New York. I was thinking that's actually going to help them rest and relax and but if this is the 5th game in 7 days, then, and I saw 10.5, which is good news for you at my site. I just looked it up.
I just looked at what it came across on ESPN. It said 9.5.
But anyway, we don't argue about the lines, but I think people can get it at 10.5. I'm not going to go against your pick. But I do think I want to also comment on the Jimmy Butler. Just watching them play the Knicks and watching him play bully ball, watching him take it to the hoop, it's what they needed. It's what they were missing.
Well, he's such a great passer. I mean, Butler's a great passer, great rebounder. He gets to the line.
Did you know? Did you see he had 8 assists a couple of games too?
I mean, I knew he's good, right? But I also know he's 37? I can't believe how good he's playing.
He's playing great.
And
it's a pleasure to watch.
I mean, listen, when Draymond at the All-Star break declared we're going to win the championship, everybody thought he was crazy. And I thought he was crazy. And the bottom line is like, you see how much they love to play with Butler, right? That the fact that Butler, they have somebody now that could get to the rack. I mean, he's like shooting like 10 free throws a game. I mean, to go from 30th in free throws to number 1 or number 2.
Don't forget about Kuminga, Mike. Kuminga's coming back too. Now, I gave that pick of 60-1 on this podcast 2 weeks ago,
By the way, it's
folks.
16-1 now.
Yeah, so you can actually hedge it and just have a free roll for yourself if you want to, and a big free roll at that. Bet it the other direction. All right, Cantu, what do you think of this? What do you think about Mike's second pick here?
I'm not going to go too in depth on that as I don't know like too much net stuff, but we did get to see the Warriors, which is going to leave it in. I'm going to come back and talk to that on my next pick here, but I'm going to go the Nets as well. It's really hard to win that fifth game, 7 days. I'm just going to follow you on that one. I don't have too much to add.
Okay, then, Cantu, why don't you give us your first pick, Cantu?
All right. First pick. This is a pick where I got to spend some time. Me and Phil went to Philly to check it out. We're going to go with Philly.
You spent 8 hours
Boston.
today waiting for Mike to do the podcast. Continue, Cantu.
Philly at Boston. Boston at like minus 14.5. Now, Phil and I got to go to Philly, hang out. Phil was doing a bunch of like live streaming in Pennsylvania. I do want to note to the viewers at home, I played 2 $100 tournaments. Busted Phil out of both of his tournaments.
That's sickening.
And I took
really
second
sickening.
and fourth. That was very exciting. Good for me.
Once you busted me at the final table.
Yeah. Once was at the final table. And I got to see the team in action. I went to the bar at the Four Seasons in Philly.
You were hanging out with Allen Iverson, bro.
I know, I'm getting there. I saw Jimmy Butler. I was like, oh no, Jimmy's drinking. He's got the game tomorrow. But then I saw Jimmy was in street shoes, or street clothes. So that I was like, oh, okay, he's supposed to be playing. By the way, tomorrow I checked on that. Then I was sitting behind Allen Iverson. Please show the photo now, Danny. Somehow you could see my boy Allen Iverson in this photo that I was rolling with.
And Jason White's on the left, right?
Jason White it was right there in the background.
Yeah.
I've never felt so cool in my life as to be that like sitting next to, even though I'm a road back, but next to Allen Iverson. With that,
Iverson in Philly, he's kind of like the king. Although we saw Dr. J too that night. I was really hoping that I was sitting on the floor. I was really hoping that Dr. J walked out a different way because I don't know him well, but he knows me and I know him, and it would have been nice to say hello at least because like. That guy's just like, I mean, he was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. Hey, Dr. J, where'd you get those shoes? Hey, Dr. J, where'd you get those shoes?
Yeah. So, I kind of feel like Allen Iverson is, even though he didn't win the championship, I feel like he's and he didn't have anything to work with all those years either, but he is
the greatest small player of all time,
city.
bro.
Yeah, he's like, I feel like he might be the biggest, not just in the NBA, their biggest player,
but you guys understand that he changed the culture of the world. Okay, do you remember when he like was all with the tattoos and everybody was against it? They're like, oh, how would we market him? And then he just said, I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Like MJ coming in and wearing those shoes and paying the fine every night. Iverson said, I'm going to be me. He was just a pleasure to watch, there's no doubt. And I saw that documentary on him. I don't know if you guys watched that, but it was like a four-part documentary. Okay, so Cantu, your pick is Boston Celtics minus 14.5?
Yeah, at the game we went to, because we went to the Saturday night game of the week. We went to Warriors at Sixers. And I'm going to tell you, that's probably the best game all year that the Sixers have played.
Maxey was out today, and they got crushed. If Maxey's out again, I really like it a lot.
No, I thought the Sixers played great. They really controlled the game, and the Warriors were trying hard. Draymond was fired up. It was kind of fun to watch.
It goes to show you how big Butler is for that team. I mean,
by the way, talking about that game, Cantu, we were there, and I couldn't believe it. I saw Steph Curry dunk, and I was like, what just happened? Like, I mean, it was not a great dunk, but he got up and dunked it. And then later, it turns out that we found out that he hadn't dunked since 2019. It had been 6 years.
Tell the story, Phil, what you told me on why he dunked it, why Steph decided to dunk there.
It's in you can read it in the press. He ran into a former player who told him you should dunk it tonight. And he decided to do it. For me, it was fun because, just Steph's like, hi, Phil, how's it going? And Draymond's coming up. And
it's pretty cool to
Gary
see his
Payton
first
came
dunk
up
in 6 years.
I was teasing Gary Payton on the microphone when I emceed the Warriors charity poker tournament because he got a little overcooked the year before. Yeah. And then I went to the game the next day. Roger Federer was there with us. Fed, I really liked him. And Fed's at the game. And
I met him in Australia.
I'm sitting next to Joe Lacob, and Joe says to me, he says, I can't believe it. Gary Payton's not playing because he's hungover. And they were a little bit mad. They're like, we're not having that charity poker tournament the night before a game again. And I thought it was just kind of cute. And then so I teased him on the mic about that. So he came up to me in Philly. He grabbed me. He held me for 30 or 40 seconds. He's like, people are still giving me shit about this, Phil. People, and I'm laughing. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you deserve it. And we were laughing. Yeah. Just a really nice, playful guy. He's always having fun. He's throwing the ball to people in the stands. Gary Payton, I mean, handles the legacy of the glove of being his son. I think he handles it pretty well. Okay, Mike, you like Boston in this, but you said basically conditional?
I like Boston minus 14.5. I mean, Philly's like, they shut down Embiid, right? And the day after they shut down Embiid, they played the Warriors, and then they played really good, and they won that game. They've been blown out back-to-back games. Maxey didn't play today, or was it yesterday, I think? Yeah, whatever. Was it
Bro,
today?
I want to tell you this, Cantu. What was the name of that kid for the Philly who scored? He scored like 44 points. I'm not exaggerating in this game.
Yeah,
I hadn't even heard of him.
It was yesterday.
Who was
that? Maxey didn't play, so I don't
know.
know.
No, Mike, I don't know. Camby. Was that his name?
Yeah,
Camby?
I know.
I'll tell you in 1 second.
On Saturday night, the kid scored 40. That cost me because I bet one side, and what's his name? Cantu.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm pulling it up. I was at the game and I didn't notice somebody scored 44 points. Oh, Quentin Grimes. I didn't even notice. Yeah.
He was hitting how many points does this say he scored, Cantu?
He scored 44 points on 18 of 24 shooting, 6 of 9 from 3. I didn't notice.
I was stunned because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't even know this kid's name. I asked the guy next to me who's a Philly fan. And he's like, Phil, he said Philly's never scored more than 18 in his life. And I'm like, what the?
I couldn't notice, Phil, because Iverson was talking with me and Jason White behind us, and he was wearing a full leather tracksuit. I mean, you want to talk about cool with the matching blue leather bucket hat? I mean, you want to talk about cool. I wish I could wear that.
Okay, Cantu, give us your second pick.
Come back to me.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you in 1 second because I'm going to agree with I'm going to bet the Boston. I like to bet the picks that I actually talk about on the podcast. And I'm going to bet the Boston. I'm going to bet Boston. I'm going to lay the 14.5. That's a big number to lay.
I like it.
But,
I just think they're cooked.
I think the only way you lose is you get backdoored.
Yeah, the backdoor cover. I'm up 20, and all of a sudden they pull all their starters. Oh, I hate the backdoor cover unless I'm on the other side. Okay, Cantu, you got a second pick for us yet?
For the second pick, just come back to me.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to go with my second pick, Mike. Second pick.
Before you do, I just want to chime in one other thing. This is the Lakers' 1, 2, 3, 4, sixth home game of a 6-game homestand. They've won every one. And after this game, they go out on the road for 4 games. At Boston, at Brooklyn, at Milwaukee, at Denver. Okay, so, the last game of a homestand, this is, I'm going to be shocked if LeBron doesn't play, really.
Plus, they have a chance. I mean, I guess it probably doesn't matter that much in the standings. They're so safe, and they're
they got a half-game lead in the number 2 seed. Now, if they're able to hold the 2 seed, they don't have to play OKC to the last hurrah.
Yeah. You're right. That's more reason for them to be fired up and play. All right, I'm going to tell you what
two. Oh, go ahead, Phil.
Okay, Cantu, I'm going to go. Fuck it. I'm just going to say this, guys. I'm going to NC2A basketball. I gave you my thoughts on the PGA Tour. I gave you my thoughts on the Lakers. I'm going to now talk about Duke. Hello, Duke. So Duke, you look up the odds for them to make the Final Four. It's not a lot right now. And so,
I mean, their best player just announced that he's coming back next year, which makes no sense whatsoever. This Cooper Flag.
I don't know if it doesn't make any sense.
Why would he come back next year when he could be like the number 1 draft pick? Makes no sense.
Because he's 18 years old, bro, and he's he wants to have a life. But I mean, unless he's trying to go for LeBron's record, I think he probably is enjoying himself. I see that. I mean, I could understand
he's probably getting paid more by the NIL than he's going to get as a rookie in a rookie deal. That's probably why.
Oh, I heard he's going to get. That's right. You know what, Mike? I thought I read this, and maybe you can check my numbers, but I thought he was getting $6.5 million to stay at Duke. So he's not really giving up that much money, And he probably is going to enjoy that college life for another year. I mean, these guys are superstars.
I mean, they've really ruined fucking college sports, but whatever.
you get to see another year of Cooper Flag. We wouldn't.
Well, that's another debate. Okay, Cantu, I will go to you while I check my numbers on the Duke.
I'm going to give a player prop, and I talked about this briefly. My second pick is going to be the Luka triple-double. Now, the line's not out. It's going to be somewhere. It'll be out by the time this comes out, but it's going to be somewhere right around plus 450.
Especially
if it's plus 350, plus 4, anything above plus 350.
You know, I was going to bet the Luka triple-double the game against Dallas, but I only got 3-1, and you got 450 somehow.
May I finish, Mike?
You can't.
Thank you. Yeah, the plus 450. I just feel like Luka's getting his stride. He's back on, he's back on stride. I also think there's a chance, because now with LeBron being a game time decision, if LeBron, I don't know if it's actually more of an advantage if LeBron is there or not. Actually, I kind of like it both ways, so I'm going to call that a moot point, but that's what I like, and it pays a lot if you hit it.
Okay, this is what I don't like about my pick. Yesterday, it paid more than this. If you want to bet Duke to make the Final Four, you have to go minus $1.55. Minus $1.55. So I'm going to look up the national championship. There it is. It's 340 to 1.
If there's betting
Who's
the other way,
I mean, I thought Auburn's a favorite, aren't they?
Auburn's tied right now to win the national championship, and they're also, I'm looking this up as I talk, for the Final Four. Final Four, they're also tied minus $1.55. Yeah. And for the national championship, 340. This is why I like Duke. I'm just going to bet the national championship bet. I'm going to go with it. And the reason why is, so 340, Mike, if I bet 1,000, how much do I get if I hit?
3,400. 4,400.
Okay. This is what I like, because once they get to the Final Four, which they're a favorite to make the Final Four, now you can decide whether or not you want to hedge or not. But it's just kind of a fun bet to me. Get a little bet out there. So I'm going to give you guys Duke at 340 to win the national championship. But we'll be talking about this bet as the weeks come, because if they do make it.
I don't know nothing about it.
Here's what I like, Mike. And you probably, I don't know, this is before you were watching basketball, when there was a guy named Danny Manning.
Of course, I
played for
him.
Kansas.
1998, and he won the title as a 6 seed.
19, no, it was like the 80s, wasn't it?
88, sorry, 88. Sorry, I meant 88.
Now, he single-handedly dragged that team to a national championship. And then we had Carmelo Anthony. For Syracuse, he single-handedly dragged that team to a national championship. Here's the thing about Duke. They have Cooper Flag, but they also have a lot of support. Some great players behind him. So I'm going to give that as my pick. Cool. Of course, we're not going to know the result for a while. But once they make the Final Four, you're going to be pretty happy you bet that. Cantu? And do we have any more picks, first of all, guys? Did you give us two, Cantu?
I wanted to
Hold on. Did Cantu give us two?
I gave two picks. Yes, I gave the Luka triple-double.
Luka
triple-double.
Okay, all right. So today we'll do 3 picks each. But let me just say this, Mike. First, I'm going to tell Ben's pick. Ben's been kind of hot. He gave us a triple-double pick. I texted him Ben was going to come on the podcast. He said, my camera's not very good.
Well, he's good because he plays fantasy every day. So he's really good with like certain.
He plays fantasy every single day. So Ben Jerusalem, I'm giving your pick. He's betting the Vegas Knights minus 1.5 goals against the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow. They also happen to play him tonight. Ben was giving us tonight and tomorrow. And when I texted him, I'm going to give you a pick, he said, damn it, Phil. He said, if Mike would have gotten up, I would have already been 1. I would have been 1-0. But he's sticking with this pick. So, Mike, what do you think of that? Your hometown, Vegas Knights.
The Oilers are probably missing one of their best players because they've lost 4 in a row and 5 of 6. And so I'm only guessing that one of the, for him to be going against Edmonton, I can only think that their best player in the world is out, for him to be laying a goal and a half against them. And that's just my guess. And if Ben is going a goal, because he really respects Edmonton, and he really believes, what's his name for Edmonton is the best player in the world. And rightfully so, he won the cup for Canada, and not the cup, but in that 4 that they did at the All-Star game break. So if I presume he has to be out for him to be laying a goal and a half. And Vegas have been playing pretty good. I know nothing about it, but he has to be out for Ben to be making that pick. So that's my opinion on that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, because we said we'll make one more because it's a slate tomorrow, Thursday.
Yeah.
There's a team that is been winning like every game that at one point of this year was nine games under 500. They started the year off like 1-8, and they are now 10 games over 500. And
You're
that
talking
team
about the Bucks?
is the Indiana Pacers.
Wow.
They have won 6 of 8. The Atlanta Hawks have lost 6 of 8. Now they are 2.5-point road favorites tomorrow. But here's the thing about tomorrow's game, and this is my bet here, is I like them tomorrow, but they then go and play a back-to-back 2 days later again in Atlanta. So it's back-to-back games in Atlanta, which is very rare.
Really?
Very rare where you play the same team twice in 3 days in the same
Not
venue.
not in 2021 it wasn't,
Right.
but yeah.
So I my pick is I think Indiana minus 2.5. If they lose to Atlanta, okay, I believe you double up and you come back and you take them back on Saturday and you end up making money. And that's my pick on that. And like I said, one team's won 6 of 8 and it's 10 games over 500. I mean, I can't believe that Indiana Pacers are 10 games over 500. And why are they doing so well? Well, Halliburton, if you remember the first month and a half of the year, had fallen off a cliff. And they're like, if he don't start playing better, the Pacers are fucked. And now he's putting up great numbers. They're winning. Siakam's been fantastic. And they're going to be a tough out in the Eastern Conference. I think they're going to, if you look at the Knicks have not done well against the top 4 teams. So, I mean, but they also, they've been missing their center. He's back now. So we'll see what happens.
Let me say one last thing, guys, about this. Hold on. I'm gonna see the Aria logo? Promote, sell. I'm just pointing out the Vegas Knights play a couple 100 yards away from Aria.
You can walk, by the way, from Aria, Phil, you can walk right down the hallway into Park MGM. You don't even have to go outside, right into the stadium. At Park MGM, you got to walk across the street, but it's about as close as you can stay to the
Did
stadium.
you guys know the Pacers were 10 games over 500 and playing that well?
I did not know.
Yeah.
What happened to the Bucks too? The Bucks were having like
the
their
Bucks
worst
have now
year
won
ever,
6
right?
in a row, and they're 10 games
the
over 500.
The Bucks are hot. By the way, speaking of the Bucks, because Woodley couldn't make it, it's 1 a.m. Woodley time. It's 10 on the West Coast. He's
2 a.m. now, Cantu.
Yeah, he's a CEO. He had to do, get to bed. I'm going to give, because Woodley passed on his 2 picks, so I'm
Yes,
going to
thank you.
interject. Listen to this, Phil. This is going to break your heart. He had the Bucks. I didn't know this either. I was just reading the stuff that I was going to read earlier. He had Bucks minus 10 as his pick. That was going to be 2 of us. Our
Against
audience was
Dallas,
going to
yeah.
be moving all in on the Bucks.
Yep.
One. But anyways, his other pick is Christopher.
That does break my heart because this
It
podcast was
does.
supposed to come out like a couple of hours before the game, and I was going to ride with you guys on that because I
That
liked
was
it.
going to be a
Actually,
unanimous pick. That was going to
Well,
be a unanimous.
sorry,
said he
I don't
loved
know.
it.
I mean, Dallas
Wait.
had to just be so deflated to lose Kyrie.
They did lose by
Yeah.
30.
yeah.
But his other pick is, he wanted me to tell you guys he loves Christopher Bell in the NASCAR this weekend at
that's
a
right.
plus 600. So a quick little for you NASCAR fans or somebody that doesn't
Did
know
he
what they're
say
gonna
that
bet.
Bell had won the last 3 races or something crazy?
God, I watched it.
Maybe
Who ended
the
up
last
winning
time
that?
he's played at where he's at.
I was watching it on the plane, and with 2 laps to go, the Wi-Fi went out. Like, I watched the whole race, and I was down to the last 2 laps. I forgot to actually check back in. How
I'm looking it up right now because he texted us. I think he said he gave us Bell, yes. And then he also said that Bell had won. I'd like to get this right.
Christopher
so-
Bell is the hottest driver in NASCAR to start through the first 3 or 4 races.
Right.
He's
Right,
been
right.
there in every race.
I'm trying to look up Woodley's text
He
here.
either took first or second.
Woodley also gave the Blazers plus 10 at Boston. Oh, that was your pick, Cantu. You would have won. I got it.
Yeah.
Look at
the
this.
the Blazers. I mean, like they got an outside shot at the 10 to get the 10. I mean, like the Suns suck. I mean, they're like, what are they, 2-8 the last 10? Now
The
with
only
Dallas
problem
going out, with
is-
Dallas going down, I mean, I can't even believe what a dumpster fire the Suns are.
I was so pumped to talk Blazers before they ended up losing today, but
yes,
good enough to cover, depending on when you got the line, but good enough to cover. I was so excited. They had won 16-5 over their last 21 before going into today. But they have the toughest schedule in the NBA. They had at Boston, brutal game, even though they're playing good.
Okay, I've come back to the Christopher Bell thing. He won. It would be his third win in a row. So, and then Woodley did give the Bucks -10. So we're going to give him credit for a win there. Now, Cantu, you've been talking about the Blazers. Now you tell us that the best dunker in the league is
Who cares?
Shaden Sharp. And he had because over the last 2 years, I can tell you, Mike has came to the forefront. I hate dunks. There was a while I had to get him used to. I always said Shaden Sharp.
That doesn't win
dunks.
you. Dunks don't win you games. Okay.
Well, his dunks are pretty amazing. I mean, the one he had coming off the glass. I mean, it's the dunk of the year.
I think it's the dunk of the year also. But
they were showing a poll. They had the top 5 dunks where he steals the ball, takes one dribble, and cocks it back to here and goes right over the top. It was pretty amazing.
Speaking of, like what we're talking about NBA, it's like not like LeBron just won Player of the Month. He hasn't won Player of the Month in 5 years. Okay,
really? LeBron won Player of the Month.
Player of the Month. But here's the more incredible part about it: is he is giving up. He's number one on defense. Whoever he's guarded he's held to the least amount of points per possessions of anyone in the NBA over the last month. Okay, LeBron. I just can't believe that a 40-year-old guy is like playing defense like it's 2016. Okay, and like I just can't believe how good he is. I mean,
he is playing really
I'm
good
never
right now.
ever going to back down a bit. My whole life Magic Johnson was the greatest ever. Then when Jordan learned how to make a 3-pointer and he won the championships in the 90s, he became the best ever. I really believe LeBron's the best ever, and we can argue this to the cows come home.
Let me just tell you this, Mike. I've gotten a little bit of time with LeBron, but more time with Michael Jordan. And I was talking to Michael one time, talking about, hey, how many MVPs did you win? And
same as LeBron too, right?
No, more than that. But without being cocky, MJ said, how many did I win or how many should I have won?
Right.
Because MJ could have won MVP. I don't even know how
LeBron could have been MVP like 10 years in a row. Right? They gave it,
and I'm hearing
they gave it to all these people. I mean, like right now,
I agree with you, Mike.
Joker's won 3 out of 4. He should have won. The only reason they gave it to Embiid because Perk said something about, they want the white guy to get the MVP. Do you remember that? Well, because Joker should have 4 in a row, okay? And if great as Shea has been this year, Joker's put up historic numbers and should be getting his 5th in a row.
He is.
Okay?
Yes. Well, I mean, any article you read will tell you it's a 2-man race between those two.
It is.
But LeBron's number 3. I mean, it's just like, how could LeBron at 40 years old be the 3rd best player in the NBA?
He looks. I think LeBron looks better than he has the last few years.
He's shooting 45% from 3.
I know, he
over
looks
the last
better.
6 weeks.
He looks
He's incredible.
better this year, and I feel
he's
like
got to
he's
be on
healthier.
some designer steroid. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's incredible. I mean, he's playing 22-year-old kids and running them over. It's unbelievable.
Okay, I have the numbers for you guys on MVPs. Michael Jordan won 5 MVPs. LeBron James has won 4 MVPs. Now, arguably, both of them could have 2 or 3 more. Because I think what happens is there's this narrative that
Kobe only had 2. He could have had like 4 or 5 too.
But there's this narrative that, it's like almost like they're sick of the same player winning it. So if you go back and look how many times Michael Jordan finished 2nd in the MVP voting, that's a telling stat. I don't know the number, and same thing with LeBron. But anyway, MJ himself was like, Phil, some of those years they gave the MVP to who?
Yeah. Did you see the video that came out when they asked about legacy of being the greatest of all time, and he's like, I don't want to put myself as the greatest of all time. There's Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, right?
Baylor.
And you see LeBron. Then they put him next to LeBron, and LeBron's like hits a 3-pointer in practice. He's like, I'm the GOAT, I'm the GOAT, I'm the GOAT, right? And even like when he won Player of the Month 2 days ago, he typed out,
Mike,
just a kid from Akron. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is the ego, like Jordan doesn't have the ego like LeBron does,
I don't know, Mike. I see.
Mike, I don't agree.
The reason I saw this interview is Negreanu posted it as a way of making fun of me.
Yeah,
he's like, oh, look, Phil Ivey, and Hellmuth says he's the greatest. Ivey doesn't. Like, come on, really, Negreanu?
Yeah.
Why you got to go there again?
Well,
all right, guys.
Let me tell you, I want to put one last thing on that debate. I also think why there's been a spotlight on LeBron ever since the Luka trade, and I think that kind of got him some of that young kid blood. You know, like.
They had won like 7 of 8 before the Luka.
It's not just an 82-game season anymore. The world is watching your regular season games now. I mean, that's got to be so much fun. People don't usually care.
I didn't think they have enough size, but you know what? They are the only team in the NBA that have 3 players that could create their own shot. LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. No other team can say that. And if they get, like Jackson Hayes put up like 13 and 10 yesterday, if they get anything out of their 7-footer and the way Rui fucking plays defense, the way Vanderbilt plays defense, the Lakers are number 1 or number 2 in total defense for the last like 25 games. Like, granted, 10 of them were with Anthony Davis, but
Mike,
man,
do you see a world where the Lakers don't make the Western Conference semifinals? Is there a world where that doesn't
the Western
happen?
Conference Finals?
I mean, finals.
Yeah,
finals. Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, because fucking Denver, they don't match up with Denver. Like, they have nobody to answer Joker. Okay, yeah, they went into Denver and crushed them, and they looked good, but that's a matchup problem, right? And also, so here's one thing. The toughest schedule left in the NBA are the Suns. The second toughest schedule in the NBA are the Lakers. The easiest schedule in the NBA are the Timberwolves the rest of the way. Now, the Wolves are going to win. They've now won 3 straight. They got healthy. DiVincenzo's back. Randall's back. They're about ready to win a lot of games. Okay,
they have the easiest schedule left in the NBA too.
So if I'm right, and Denver gets the 2 and the Lakers get the 3, right, and the Wolves move up to the 6, okay, and they go 3 versus, that's another bad matchup for the Lakers because they have no size, and Gobert would be tough.
Lakers Nuggets is bad.
So the Nuggets and the Wolves are both matchup problems for the Lakers. The rest of them, the Lakers can easily get through. The West is loaded. Houston is fucking fading, which I figured they weren't as good as they were playing. And Memphis is fading, but Memphis is fading because Jaw's been out, and he's out again tomorrow and tonight or whatever. And so, because one of the guys at the table had a big bet against Memphis today, and they lost, and they didn't cover either. So
I'm going to say this, Mike. The Warriors can beat anybody on any given night. So I think I want to see what happens when
the age is the important question.
They haven't played any of the top teams in the West since the Butler trade. The best team they played were the Knicks, and the Knicks have been just awful against the top 4 teams. Like they're 0-4 against the Cavs, 0-4 against Boston. Like, I mean, let's wouldn't it be amazing if it comes full circle and the Cleveland Cavs played LeBron James and the Lakers in the NBA Finals? I mean, and LeBron won. I mean, he could just walk off into the sunset if that happened, right?
That would be a pretty fun.
Cleveland's great, dude. Look what they did. They were down 25-2 against Boston.
25-3, yeah.
And came all the way back and crushed them, right? The Cavs are fucking good. Spider is unbelievable. They have size, and the other guard is unbelievable too. The shooting guard starts with a G. What's his name? They're really good. Okay, Cleveland is really, really good. But to beat the champs, you got to beat the champs, and the 7-game series will be tough. But at first, when we talked like 3-4 weeks ago, we didn't see any way where it's not going to be the Knicks in Boston. I'm watching this Knicks team. Granted, they got Mitchell Robinson back now. Let's see how he does. Because they need him in the center position to get rebounds and to block shots. But I just don't.
The Caps are going to make the finals. It's who's going to come out between Boston and I think Boston's going to come out easily.
I think it's Cavs and Boston, and I think it's.
Have you guys seen the numbers on the NBA? It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. I looked at. I'm like, what? It's like 3-2. That's all you get to have Boston in the finals. You know what you get on? You know what you get? Go ahead, Cantu. You can look, but
No,
They're going to have home field advantage. They're going to have the best record in the NBA.
Cantu said, "Hold on." Cantu said it's impossible that it's 3-2.
No, I thought when you said ratings, I thought you were going into the TV ratings.
I mean,
sorry.
I'm talking about.
That
I'm
seems
talking about-
that seems way short to win the East. I mean, the Cavs are going to have home field advantage, right? And the Cavs have already took it to them. I mean, I think they're 3-1 against them.
Mike,
this year.
do you know what the Oklahoma Thunder are? What they are also 3-2. I've been looking at this number. I've been so depressed. There's no value. You can't make any money with these numbers. If you bet both of, I
like Minnesota 80-1.
I do.
But 3-2.
Well, this is going to be real interesting how Minnesota does here in the next 2 weeks. They have the easiest schedule in the NBA remaining, right? And they're healthy.
They got a real chance.
They got a chance, and the Lakers have the second hardest schedule, but they keep just beating every team there is. I mean, let's be honest. Like they just won 4 in a row with no Rui and no Austin Reeves, or 3 in a row, right? Like Rui's was playing out of his mind. Austin Reeves is playing out of his mind. So, I mean, I'm a diehard Laker fan. I think we got a shot. I think we got a little legitimate shot to win it all this year, which I could never have said.
Okay. I looked at a reputable site. Oklahoma is 165, bro. I mean, that's ridiculous. And Boston is 230. So you're right. I was a little bit off there. But,
I see right now on DraftKings, Oklahoma City's minus 130, which is a lot better than that. But on DraftKings,
what are the
minus 130? I'm talking about to win the finals.
What are the Cavs to come out of the East? Because I think people are really underrating them.
Cavs are 600 to win the championship. I'm looking at the NBA Finals winners numbers. I'm looking at now, and my point was, if you're getting 2-1 on Boston Celtics to win it, 230. You're getting 165 on Oklahoma. If you bet those two teams, and one of them wins, you break even. It's ridiculous.
I mean,
it's just not.
I think the value is
the Warriors are down to 14. Wow,
that's 16. Yeah. I think that the value is with the Wolves, because
I love the Wolves.
They have it.
That's the value.
I don't want to say it because Woodley, he sucks on fucking his homer, But like they have an easy schedule. They've won 3 in a row.
They're 80-1, Cantu. I see it.
I'm betting it. I'm betting that tomorrow.
And they have size. Remember, they got Rudy Gobert. They got size. If Naj plays well and Randall starts playing like he's capable.
Didn't you think last year? Last year I watched more NBA.
They ran out of gas. The Denver series, going 7 really killed them because they were playing in altitude, right? And if they would have finished it off at 4 or 5 like they should have, right? They were up 3-0. Then I think they might have probably won the title. But
they had a shot. And didn't you think, though, watching them last year, didn't you think, all right, it's going to be one more year before they win it? That's what I thought. And then they made that trade.
Yeah.
What did they do?
I thought it was a little bit of a weird trade.
I thought it was one more year for them, and then they make that trade.
I thought they were 1 year away.
Mavs were in the finals.
The Mavs and the T-Wolves were both 1 year away. It was like they're going to play again in the Western Conference Finals if they don't change anything. And
I can't believe my fucking team has Luka Doncic on it. I just can't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I'm a Lakers fan too. I'm a Golden State Warriors #1, by the way.
Yeah.
Warriors are my #1. I grew up watching the Bucks, and so I was pretty happy when they won. But the Lakers, Mike, I was playing poker with Jerry Buss in 1991, 92. Yeah. He was with us all those years. All those championships. You and I, we'd text him, and we'd just go sit in the box with him. Like it was nothing. He loved having us.
Really good friends with him, and I actually, my last bracelet in 2013, because he had just died, I had what's it called to him, and Jerry was a great guy, and
This guy flew on Southwest Airlines, Mike, and I said, Jerry, why are you flying on Southwest Airlines? He said, I'm flying with my people, Phil. And he'd show up in a Lakers jacket, and people loved him. The poker world loved him. And then we've got Frank Mariani, who, literally played poker 300 times a year. And I think I would bet money over 250 times a year. He'd just go to the Commerce, play the Omaha 8 or better, the 61-20 game. You probably played with him a bunch, Mike.
It's funny. It's like I've said the story many times. Like when Jerry invited me to go to Phoenix for the Western Conference Finals, right? And I dropped everything, spend the weekend with Jerry Buss, and then they end up losing both games. He's like, that's why I don't go on the road. They never win when I go on the road, right? But like, I remember like, and this is why I always tell people, keep your ego in check. I said to myself, wow, man, I fucking made it, dude. The owner of the Lakers, team I grew up like idolizing, like invites me to the Western Conference Finals and then everything went bad for me after that. So that's why I always say, keep your ego in check.
Can't get too cocky.
You never know what can happen.
Can't get too cocky.
My
never know.
favorite Jerry Buss story was, for me, I was in 2007. I was just playing blackjack by myself. I'd never talked to him or anything. It was just by myself. And Jerry comes up to me. He's like, Brandon Cantu, I'm a fan of yours. I've watched you play poker. I'm like, whoa, you know who I am? Like, I was like, whoa. I mean, how like down to earth is that? Like,
somebody
so I
asked.
thought that was pretty cool.
It's funny.
Let me tell my Jerry Buss story, Mike.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
So my Jerry Buss story is I would go to Lakers training camp. And that was fun. And the first year I went with Huckseed, and we found ourselves at the team dinner for the Lakers. Now, these days, the team dinner is just going to be the team and the coach most likely, and I think maybe sometimes the owners. Found myself at the Lakers team dinner. I'd get off the elevator. One time I got off the elevator, and I'm walking, and there's like a mountain next to me. I'm just like, what? I mean, I like was stunned. You know how tall I am? I'm like 6'6". And I look, and I'm just like, whoa. And I look, and I'm looking at a bicep, Shaq's bicep. I'm like, what in the world is this? I mean, like, it's Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, but I mean, he's that tall that he kind of dwarfs me. And so I'd have fun there. I remember playing, and I remember losing a lot of money playing poker with Jerry Buss. I played all night. Someone found a picture of it. Me, Yosh Nakano, Huckseed, and Jerry Buss. And we all went to training camp, and Jerry's, and I lost 50,000. I lost an ungodly number playing 4 and 800 limit hold'em. And Jerry was a hell of a poker player.
Yeah, he
got
much better as the years gone by.
At limit hold'em, it was always tough, Mike. Not no limit. I'm talking about limit hold'em.
Yeah.
And that's what he played all those years was limit. I don't know if you know this. He started playing no limit hold'em because of the World Poker Tour came along. But I played limit hold'em with him. He crushed me all night. Some players were in that suite. He always had beautiful women around. The one thing I did is he then gave me floor seats. It was just, it's training camp, so they're playing whatever, the Seattle Seahawks or whatever. I mean, sorry, the Seattle Supersonics at the time, yeah. And the one thing I bought is I found out which whiskey he liked. He only drank one kind of whiskey, and because it's made with rye or whatever, so I sent him a bottle of that. It's not an expensive bottle, but he appreciated it, and he took my phone calls and one of the
things, like,
and he asked me, hold on, Mike, last thing, did you play with us on our team when it was me and Jerry Buss?
Yes.
The
USA.
It was
Team
you.
USA. He was on our team. We did the Team USA. We had the jerseys. Matter of fact, I actually was going to pull my jersey out because I was going through my shit the other day, and I had that Team USA jersey. Yeah, that was good.
It was the three of us, right?
And Eric Seidel, I think.
Yeah. And that's what he wanted, so we played the team together. Unfortunately, we didn't win it. But Jerry Buss, we all loved him. The poker world loved him.
One of my greatest Jerry Buss.
We miss you, Jerry.
One of my greatest Jerry Buss stories is like I used to people would always go up to him, and like he'd always go to dinner and always buy dinner, and I'm like, Jerry, let me buy dinner. He's like, when the Lakers go bankrupt, you can buy dinner, right? He refused to ever let anybody else buy dinner. But like one of my greatest Jerry Buss stories, is that like there used to be somebody that used to break into the forum all the time and steal shit. And then finally they caught him, right? And they brought him to jury. He goes, bring him to me, right? So the cops brought him to him, and he said, this is how you know what a good guy he was. He said, listen, kids, I'm going to give you both of you season tickets for a year. Just don't ever break into the forum again. That's what kind of guy Jerry Buss was, just in case anybody wants to know.
Jerry told me once, Mike, I mean, he told me this. He said, Phil, when he bought the Lakers, he said, there's not enough people were attending the games. They had real issues. They weren't very good back then. And he said, you know what I did, Phil? He said, I made this seats in the bleachers, $2, $2 a ticket.
And he introduced the Laker girls. Like there was never like Laker NBA cheerleaders, right? And so like he knew sex sold, right? And that's how that's how they promote.
Mike, $2 to be in the bleachers to make sure the stands were full, but he'd charge you whatever, $1,000 a pop. Even back then, if you wanted to sit on the floor, you want to be seen, you got to pay for it. So it's really smart. What a great businessman, and him and Frank Mariani, great partners.
Let's
I
go
saw
Lakers,
Frank,
man. I hope we could win it.
Yeah.
I
like
want
the
to see
Lakers
LeBron
just
win his
because of
fifth,
that,
man.
those
Because
Jerry-
LeBron's
those
playing at a
Jerry
level
series.
like I've never seen before. So,
Sorry, guys, I got to go Warriors, but then Lakers.
okay.